So I hope you don't get hypnotized with this watch like I did. Very bad joke. I couldn't resist. But this is the Seiko Sportura Titanium Chronograph. And this is pretty much my first real watch. I owned a Swatch before this, but this was the watch that really started my collecting journey and made me like wristwatches in the first place. So check it out with me. Welcome to another episode of Patrick W. Time. My name is Patrick W. And today we're looking at the first luxury, special, unique wristwatch that I ever owned. And that is this very interesting, very polarizing Seiko. And generally speaking, when you think of Seiko, you don't think of super luxury, or at least back when this watch came out, you didn't. Grand Seiko existed, but it was completely isolated over in Japan. Nobody really gave Seiko credit for making really high horology. This particular watch has a special movement in it, which is kinetic. It also has a special movement that was made actually in the Grand Seiko studios. It's a pretty fancy movement. And it has a very polarizing look. And that's probably what made me fall in love with this watch. So I definitely think from the start of my watch collecting journey, I liked weird watches. Just standard run-of-the-mill watches. I don't know, they didn't, and they still haven't done anything for me. And I'll apologize to all the people that I tease and make fun of when I say that. You know, the standard watches out there, just a Omega Speedmaster, I find it boring. Oddly enough, I find the regular Rolex Submariner kind of boring. Nothing about those watches says, wow, that is so cool, I want to own it. And when I was young, pretty much I was in college, I went on a trip and I saw this magic watch in a store. And I had no idea what the heck it was. And of course, back then, they didn't really have internet the way they do now. So I'm shocked that I was even able to discover what it was.
If you've made it this far in the video, let me first thank you, and second, ask for a little bit of support. The easiest support you can give is just a like to the video, leave a comment, subscribe if you like the content, and if you want to support the channel in an even greater way, I've got links in the description for my YouTube memberships, for Patreon, and a whole bunch of other things that just help out the channel. Thank you so much.
But as crazy as it is, I found one on eBay. I got it for, at that time, a very high price, but much better than the retail price. And I've loved it ever since. So looking at the watch, the most polarizing feature is all of that glass. Those special windows that each have their own chronograph function. And that's what caught my eye. You know, at the time, I didn't know they even made a stainless steel version. I didn't know that this was the somewhat better titanium version. You know, the chips just fell where they may, and this was the watch that I found, and this is the watch that I fell in love with. I don't even really like chronographs. So all in all, the features of this watch aren't even that important to me. I just really liked the look of it. Each one of these individual crystals and dials with their really high bezeled sapphire crystals, it's just super cool. You turn it over, you see a really nice exhibition case back that shows an automatic movement. Once again, back when I bought this watch, I barely knew the difference between a mechanical and automatic, or what it turns out to be, a kinetic movement. So quick and easy history on that. What is a kinetic movement? It's spring drive before spring drive, kind of. In theory, there's a battery, and it's powered by an actual rotor. Kind of like in a spring drive, there's a quartz movement that's also powered by a rotor, but has a spring. I know, it's complicated, but the simple answer is it's a quartz watch with a battery / capacitor, which gets powered by automatic movements similar to a regular automatic watch. So you get the advantage of quartz accuracy, you get the advantage of it being self-powered. You get an additional advantage of the power supply will last you over a month when it's fully charged. So the great news about this watch, you don't have to wear it that often. If you've got a large collection, you can set it and forget it. Which of course brings me to the really cool prop you saw at the beginning of the episode. Sharper Image made a really interesting winder for this. They don't make it anymore. I mean, Sharper Image doesn't even exist anymore. But I found one of these on eBay, and for nostalgia purposes, I had to buy the old-fashioned winder to go with the old-fashioned watch, because a regular watch winder doesn't really work for kinetic movements. It's not the rotation that actually makes the energy stay in the capacitor, it's the force. So you need to have a strong acting force to be able to charge that battery. So this unique and somewhat interesting winder does that. So the last little fun fact about this watch, besides just my sort of love for it, it turns out that this watch became a little bit famous. Jay Leno, who was the talk show host extraordinaire, also known as an auto guy, had a auto spin-off show. I don't even know what the name of it. I think it's Jay Leno's Garage. And in that show, he wore this watch. And I guess lots of people, because of how polarizing it is on the wrist, saw it and said, oh my goodness, Jay Leno's wearing that really cool Seiko. And this watch has now somewhat developed the nickname, the Jay Leno. And I mean, I don't know who's going to buy this watch because it's Jay Leno famous, but this watch definitely gained a little bit of notoriety, just secondary to a Hollywood celebrity. So the moral of this story, if you find an interesting watch out there, a watch that has a polarizing design, some unique features that just interest you, maybe they don't interest the entire watch community, but that doesn't matter. It's about what you like. And I'm sure there's tons of people out there who think that this watch is just ugly. And I don't really care. It's not for you, it's for me. I enjoy this watch. I love this watch. I think it's just a really cool, unique, no one's going to be wearing this watch when you walk down the street kind of watch. And I guess it's a high quality watch, and it's survived all of this time. This watch is over 25 years old. So that's pretty great. So make sure you drop a comment. Tell me if you like the watch. Tell me if you hate the watch. Or tell me if there's an interesting watch that either you bought because you just like the look of it, or tell me a watch that maybe you liked, but peer pressure made you not buy it because it's so polarizing. I just want to hear some interesting comments. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you real soon in a new video. Take care.